Hello people, so today I'm going to go over what I do to make my ripping chains for my chainsaw. Show you what I do to mark them out first, just so I don't mess up, and then I'll show how I grind and sharpen it, and then the difference between a regular crosscut chain and a ripping chain if you used in your typical Alaskan style sawmill. Alright, so just going to adjust the camera here. So, I hit a nail with this chain that's on here right now, yesterday. So it's going to be filed. My other chain ran through a piece of barbed wire that was embedded in a tree, so I'm going to make a new one. So what I do, I'll just pick a chain and start. Count up 1, 2. Mark my next one. 1, 2. Mark my next one. And with my size of chain, it always works out that there's only one in between these, but that's fine. It'll still cut fine. And the ones I marked are the ones that I'm not gonna grind down. So those are gonna be my full cutting teeth. That's what the chain looks like before. It's got the full width. And what I'm going to do right now, of the ones that are not marked, that's going to grind approximately 50% of your tooth off. And all those teeth are going to be used for then is just clearing out the chips that the ones with paint still on it are going to be producing. Now with that part done, I'm going to go in and set up my chainsaw grinder, and I'm going to grind the other angles on there. So typically when I'm sharpening my chains, it'll be over here at 30 degrees. I'm going to cut that in half to 15. You could go down to 10 degrees but have a cutting angle too if you'd like. I use 15 just because there's a notch there and it locks it in. And same with when you're sharpening your other chains. You want to grind one, skip, grind your next one. I think my depth is set. Over. So I'll start on one of my full lengths, so one of the red ones, to make sure I got my proper angle on the go. So I just did this one. And you want to, like a regular chain, you want to skip one, cut your next one. And while I have it in the vise here, I'm just going to file the top of that flat from where I ground it. And then you want to come in slowly. Turn that off, and to come down to just above the length that joins the two chains together. And if you I guess you have to take my word for it, but there's no heat that was put on that chain, or else you'd see burn or scorch marks on your edge. There isn't. So that's all that's to it. You just want to make sure you're going deep enough down here so you get your proper chip load. You also want to make sure that you're skipping every other tooth. And I'll go show you an example. So now that I got the one side done, I'm going to change my angle to 15 degrees in the other direction, starting at my first full tooth again. See a bit of the red paint left on there. Make sure it's still good. Chain's locked in. So you can see it's much less of an angle now. I'll do my break. 1, already sharpened. 2, needs to be sharpened. So I'm just gonna carry on with the rest of this chain. I'm pretty sure you guys don't need to watch every tooth getting ground. You'll get the point. I wanted to do this video earlier, but we haven't had any sunny days in the last little bit. And since I run that off of solar, I wanted to make sure I'd be able to charge my batteries all the way back up. So over here on my woodshed, you should be able to see how rough these ones are. You can see here, if we look down the edge, you can see the ripples. And with this one that I used the ripping chain on, still got ripples, but they're a lot smaller. Much smoother. So if you're planing boards down, you obviously want to use your ripping chain, because you're going to save more material if you're forced to do it with a bandsaw. If you don't have a bandsaw mill or anything like that. So that's that one, and here's this one again. So, hope you guys and girls like this video and find it useful. If you would, give a thumbs up and subscribe if you already haven't, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.